So today we got to go over some Mario Kart World news here. And not just news, but some really good theory crafting and speculation, and even evidence that suggests there could be a lot more courses in this game than we realize at this point. And Mario Kart World already has, I think if you do the manual count, it's roughly 30 courses, although that doesn't include, well, maybe it does include in some cases the teased Rainbow Road that they did. But actually, there is a lot to think that there'll be even more than this. And, you know, before we dive in, I want to make sure I shout out Andres Restart. He made a video about this, but also we actually have another theory crafting that is maybe even more convincing coming over from the Mario Kart Reddit. So shout out to them as well. We'll dive into that. But before we dive into this stuff, I want to remind you, we are giving away a Nintendo Switch 2. All you gotta do is click on the link down in the pinned comment or in the description. I wish everyone luck. We'll draw the winner about a week before the system comes out. And yes, you can enter worldwide, for those that keep asking about it. Yes, as long as your country allows giveaways and you're of legal age. Those are the two big requirements. We do have legalese on the giveaway thing if you want to read all of the fine print. That being said, let's go ahead and dive into this stuff. And the first thing we have to start with is the obvious, right? They teased that there would be a Rainbow Road in this game. We actually leaked a while ago, and we could talk about the location on the map and where this is because we basically have that all figured out. But the bottom line is, the first thing about saying there's obviously going to be more courses is that Rainbow Road has traditionally been the course at the end of its own cup. A cup you would unlock after doing Grand Prix of all the other stuff, and then you would get a bonus cup that would include Rainbow Road. Obviously, that means there could be 3 other new race courses. Of course, we have evidence that, yes, some of the courses out there actually have 2 courses that go through them just from different angles, different viewpoints. So like you have a city and there's one course through it, but then there's also a completely different course that goes through it. I think that's a really clever way, and we could see a lot more of that moving forward, and maybe that's how they expand courses. It's also possible, as Andres Restart points out, that maybe it's a 4-course version of, you know, the actual Rainbow Road. Obviously, they could also do something crazy, and since maybe you're leaving the planet to go to outer space for Rainbow Road, maybe there's other planets or moons or other places that courses could be. That obviously is a way to expand the game. So I do think that there's quite a bit of content being hidden about this game, and that's because they want us to discover it for ourselves, and I think that includes what happens when you unlock Rainbow Road. That being said, before we dive into the other theories that are floating out there and the direct evidence for it, first, this is just something we haven't covered at the channel yet, so I want to go over it, and that is the character roster. As you can see, like, for all the complaints about all the costumes taking up all these character slots, there's 50 different confirmed playable characters. This doesn't include anything that might not have been unlocked. This obviously doesn't include DLC. This is just 50 individual characters, and obviously, whether or not you think baby versions of characters are new characters or not, they've always had their own character slot in the past. So obviously, you see, you know, the typical run with your Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, Rosalina, Pauline, Wario, Waluigi, Yoshi, Birdo, and all the baby versions there, and the Toad and Toadettes and the Nabbits and all that stuff. But you're seeing a lot of new stuff in here. You can see the new stickers applied to a bunch of them here. And these are all new playable characters we've never had before. These two look very similar, but they're actually completely different characters. You know, the Piranha Plant and all this stuff. So you can see there's a lot of new characters in this game. And look, I'm not a big enough Mario aficionado to remember the names of each one of these individual characters, although they are on the character list, and a couple that I saw look very familiar to me in terms of their names. So, but I'm really happy to see such a robust character roster. I believe this is the most amount of characters they've ever had at the launch of a game, so not counting DLC. And they're all Mario characters or Mario enemies, and I like that, except the cow. I guess the cow is a character, I suppose. But yeah, I think this is all in good fun, and truly, I think they have done some great work here with that character roster and having some variety, considering that it's all Mario characters. But now we got to get into this theory around all of these extra courses that Nintendo might be hiding in plain sight. Let's go over to the Mario Kart Reddit here. This is posted by Gravity the Avocado. And it says, no, I'm aware most of these are in no way confirmed. See the key for more details on my opinions on how likely this is. I came to these conclusions with some help from other comments and other videos and images I found online of other people's findings in 3 main ways. One, the gameplay, such as Knockout Tour or free roam gameplay, showcases the fact that some of these tracks or battle maps are actually located on the map. For example, during the crossroads between Sky High Sunday and Wario's Shipyard, you drive through Vanilla Lake 2 or 1, you couldn't really tell which one. Another example is the Choco Islands, when you go in a different direction to get to or drive past Choco Mountain. 2, mini maps and terrain hints show subtle hints that some of these tracks are indeed present, even if not directly confirmed by Nintendo, nor present in Grand Prix. Examples are Delfino Square, Mushroom Bridge, Dry Desert, notably connected to Desert Hills, possibly something similar to the Super Nintendo Entertainment System's Mario Circuits is going on there, and some others like Baby Park, since an oval with similar colors is seen next to Peach Beach. Brushing and editing techniques can be spotted in areas where it is clear that someone deliberately tried to hide something. Areas where the terrain is blurred or copy and pasted over a generally bland area. An example of blurriness is the area next to Starview Peak, which I assume is where you put Rainbow Road, GBA, since GBA tracks seem missing in action for some reason, but I could be wrong. Other instances include where I put Chessland and desert area that is remarkably bland, and it's near some oddly cheese-like rocks, and also where I put Daisy Cruiser and Mushroom Gorge are other cases of just random blurry or blandness, and I mostly put the track retro in this case, but not limited to of the best fit. Opinions, anything that I missed, am I going crazy? There are only 30 confirmed tracks, excluding the battle maps, and so you can kind of see this map here, and it's quite interesting. Obviously, the blue diamond are the confirmed ones, right? Those are the things that we already know are in the game, absolutely. But then you get the green diamond ones, which are things that we think we know or have been teased in the open world areas or in the mini map areas, right? So we think we're pretty confident in the green diamond. The yellow diamond is stuff that it looks like there's evidence for, but maybe not necessarily 100% guaranteed. And red diamond is literally just like a shot in the dark. So all these sort of brownish red diamonds you see are just them guessing at the best courses to fit there. But when you look at this, it's a heck of a lot more than 30. If you do the total count here, I'm just going left to right. I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 30. Oh my gosh, there's like 64 courses or something. There's a lot of courses in here. I'm not going to sit here and count each individual one. That's a lot of courses. And I have to say, if this theory is correct, this game is significantly larger than we initially thought it was. And I feel like there's a lot to be said that there's so much in the open world free roam driving we haven't discovered. It's also entirely possible that when you finish the Grand Prix, including the Rainbow Road stuff, it could unlock a whole new Grand Prix full of, a bunch of extra cups that deal with more of the classic courses that are in other parts of the world. So that is entirely possible, and it's a theory many people have had because we've seen so little of the free roam. And I think there's obviously a reason we've seen so little of it. We think everything is just straight line, beeline, but free roam, you can go anywhere, which means there could be tons and tons of hidden courses all throughout the map that you have to discover to play. Maybe you even have to discover them in order to actually use them. And then when you discover 4 from the same Grand Prix, maybe that Grand Prix opens up. I don't know. That's just an idea to throw out there. But one thing is for sure is that there seems to be a lot more content and a lot more courses than are technically confirmed by Nintendo. So we'll have to wait and see how any of this pans out. If the extra courses are just that extra cup that contains Rainbow Road, if there's going to be extra courses up in outer space, which would give really big galaxy vibes, or if obviously this map alone is hiding like 60-something courses and we just haven't discovered them yet, so they haven't been named yet, and maybe the names get added to the map later. That's all entirely possible. So I'm pretty excited about this notion of there being more and more courses in here, and it could go to show that like Nintendo with Mario Kart doesn't want you to know everything going into launch. I know, well, we knew everything about 8 Deluxe. I'm like, yeah, because it was a Wii U game that already existed. This is the case where it's a brand new Mario Kart. And in Mario Kart, there's a lot of unlockables and a lot of hidden stages. You're not going to just reveal all that. I guess they could come out and say, hey, over 30, 30 extra courses you could unlock. I guess they could tease something like that. But it's also a lot of fun when games don't do that, and then you can discover it for yourself. So I guess we'll wait and see. But it does look like there is something to these ideas of there being extra courses that they haven't revealed yet or haven't shown on the map directly anyways. So I don't know. One more look at this map over here, just in case you guys didn't pause and get a good look before. Let me know what you think about these theories and obviously this idea. And yeah, do you think there's a whole extra cup to go along with Rainbow Road like there traditionally is? I think right now there's 7 cups, but we know about 30 courses, including Rainbow Road. So let me know. All right, guys, I am Nathaniel Ruffledance from Nintendo Prime, and that's a nice video on Mario Kart World. I'll catch you in the next one.